All right, guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video/podcast. How you doing today, Afton?
Not too shabby. How about you, Sammy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty hyped. Tales of the Jedi just came out. We thought we're not going to do every episode individually. We're just going to do the whole series into one breakdown and review full on the channel. Afton's going to do some, and I'm going to do some. We're going to do a breakdown, just a simple breakdown, not spoil too much. There's spoilers. Not a whole lot, but there's going to be some, and then we're going to review it as well.
Watch the series before you watch this. It's like takes an hour to watch the whole series.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. Anyway, starts off with episode 1. Basically, Ahsoka's born. We learn she's force sensitive. She controls an animal. I mean, it's a long plot development to that, but it's not really long because it's only a 10-minute episode, but that's all you really learn.
Out of 10, I'd probably give it 7.5 or 8.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a 6.5, honestly, just because we all knew she was force sensitive. I assumed this happened almost very similar to exactly what happened. I mean, nothing new is my opinion, but not bad either.
Yep. Episode 2, we get our first Dooku episode. Pretty great. We go to Raxus. Some senator's kid is kidnapped. And we are introduced to Count Dooku when he is master of Qui-Gon. So we get to see young Qui-Gon, which is a pretty cool nod to that master and apprentice bond. Anyways, the senator's son is captured. The senator's son feels bad for the people of Raxus because the senator pretty much takes advantage of the world. And Dooku sees this, has pity on them, and pretty much tells the senator to piss off. And we see the first glimpse of Dooku using the dark side and feeling that, and Qui-Gon sees it as well. And that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, very solid episode.
Probably an 8 for me.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7.5 or an 8. Such character development, and it shows you how Dooku went bad, how Dooku turned bad. It shows you exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Episode 3, Dooku is instead of with Qui-Gon, he is with Mace Windu and inspecting on, I believe again, Raxus, why a Jedi died on this planet. Whole bunch of weird clues. He's escorted by not a senator, a senator and all of his guards.
Yeah.
And just a weird little, what happened here? And of course they're Jedi, so they figured it out in 0.2 of a second that they were killed by the guards. So it was an inside job. It was all just planned, and then they tried to kill Mace Windu and Dooku. Weren't very successful. Dooku discovered all this doing unorthodox methods. He pretty darn close to interrogated and threatened the guards. Mace Windu didn't like this. He was promoted after this mission on the council. Dooku wasn't. He was very passive-aggressive about not being on the council. Overall, beautiful episode. I'd honestly give this an 8, 8.5. It shows Mace Windu going on the council, which is just beautiful. Mace Windu in combat, I love. And then Daddy Dooku, I mean, you can't turn that down.
Yeah,
you really can't.
It was a really, really good episode. 8 or 8.5 for me as well, out of 10. Solid. Next we get to episode 4, probably my favorite. We see this really cool intertwining story with actually Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon has discovered Darth Maul. He proclaims the first Sith in the millennia, and he tells the Jedi Council, like we see in Phantom Menace, and the Jedi Temple is all in stir and emotion because there is rumors of a Sith. And at this point, Count Dooku is in the hallways with Yaddle, and they're talking about, is there actually a Sith? And they talk to Qui-Gon, and Dooku gives his respect to Qui-Gon, Master and Apprentice, and then Qui-Gon talks about Obi-Wan, and Dooku's like, I can't wait to meet this kid. Then it cuts forward, and Qui-Gon's dead, and he's pissed because the Council didn't believe Qui-Gon that there was a Sith, and Qui-Gon is now dead at the hands of a Sith. And Dooku, he's done with it. He doesn't want to be part of the Jedi anymore, so he quits. Yaddle tries to make him feel better. He goes off and he tells Sidious, "This is too much. You killed my friend. You killed my apprentice." And Maul said, "Well, he killed my apprentice. You want to be my new apprentice?" kind of a thing. And Yaddle, unbeknownst to Dooku, was following. And Dooku's first test is to fight Yaddle. And we get this really cool battle sequence, kind of like Dooku versus Yoda in Attack of the Clones. Really fun to watch. Except it's younger Dooku with his blue lightsaber instead of red. Really cool sequence
very
together.
Similar, though.
In the end, though, he does kill Yaddle, which is great to see. We get an actual final answer and ending to Yaddle's story, which is nice. and then we get to see Dooku's final turn to the dark side and to become Darth Tyrannus.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Probably a 9 for me.
Yeah.
I want to say it's a 10. It's really short. You know, I'll give it a 10. It was great.
The whole things are short.
Yeah, it was a 10.
I'd give it a 9.5. Honestly, not. There's no. I'll throw a 10 in there too. There's nothing I would change about this episode except for making it longer, and that's the whole point. It's short. It's gonna be short. Last 3 episodes were all about Dooku, and now we switch to Ahsoka again. Episode 1 was about Ahsoka. They bring her back in here. She, at the very beginning of this episode, impresses all the Jedi doing this test that every Jedi does. Deflects blaster shots in front with droids. Droids shooting at her, little remotes, and then all of a sudden she beats the crap out of them because she's done it a million times before. Anakin isn't impressed, and Ahsoka always she feels the need to make Anakin proud. So she goes over. She's like, "What do you want with me? I just did this beautiful thing." And then Anakin's like, "That's not a real test. Here's a real test." He gets pretty darn close to not half the 5 of us. He gets like 10 troopers or whatever. Blaster set on stun, and he will not let her stop until she can block every single one of those stun blasters. And she's knocked out for hours at a time, hardly any energy left, but she is willing to continue this. And at the very end, it flips to a showing Ahsoka being led in from season 7, one of the very last episodes in season 7 of Clone Wars, of her getting led in during Order 66 by Rex. And this just shows
he kind of missed the part. It shows the beginning, and then it shows kind of towards the end that she's been doing this the whole time through the Clone Wars, where she couldn't really last more than a couple of seconds till she could get 5 minutes straight of just blocking nonstop blasters. Yeah. And then it gets to the part where Athens talking about where we get to this Order 66, season 7, just very beautiful scene that Anakin was training Ahsoka to protect herself because that was the best he could do for her.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful episode. The whole thing was just repetitive, but that's kind of the point of the episode. What was it? It was 10 minutes long. So 7. Good episode. I liked every part of it, but just showed the same thing for 10 minutes.
I want to give it an 8.5, a 9, because that last part was really sweet. But the repetitiveness of the blasters was but it was a good story. It was a good arc for Ahsoka. Like, Anakin really did care about her. He really wanted to see her succeed and was willing to push her to the limits to do that. And then when we get to episode 6, really great. We get to see Ahsoka. She appears at the funeral for Padman, which is a really emotional scene. Padme dies. The hands. Anakin, she, unbeknownst, does not know that Anakin is Darth Vader. She thinks he's dead. When she talks to Bail Organa, they both talk into the phrase of, you couldn't have done anything for the both of them, Anakin and Padme. And they're both, she thinks they're both dead. She's really depressed. She doesn't want anything to do with the Jedi. She doesn't want to do anything with rebellion. She just wants to be left alone. And then we kind of get a shot into like the Ahsoka book where she's off in this farm world, right? And then she saves this girl. She uses the Force. Some dude who's jealous of her because his sister is friends with her lets the Empire know. And then an inquisitor comes, kills everybody except for that dude. An old guy, and then the sister, and Ahsoka has to defend them. She kills them without lightsabers, like in the Ahsoka book, and saves them, gets Bail Organa, and then we see her say, "Yeah, I'm ready to do this," becoming Fulcrum that we see in Rebels. So again, just a full send circle of Ahsoka that we see from season 1 to Rebels, and it's a really good arc.
Yeah,
I probably would give this one a 9.
I was about to say that. I was going to say a 9. I mean, very few things that I could have said would be better. Love how it ties into the book. Literally straight up a scene out of the book. Like, even if you're not a diehard fan and you read that book, you're just like, wow, live action. Very seldom does that happen. But I loved it.
Yeah, great episode. Overall, the series, great. I really love Dave Filoni. When he works on anything animated, it's always great. The overall, just the voice acting, the story writing, all of it, great. Only Coral, just make it longer, man. I want to see more of this.
Yeah,
that's my only problem.
It's
just give me more. That's all, because it's just too short for me. It's great. I would definitely recommend Captain said, it's probably only an hour overall with all 6 episodes.
Yeah,
it's really short.
Episodes are 15 minutes and 2 or 3 minutes of credits.
Yep. So it's really quick. Just go check it out. I definitely recommend it. You get a story arc from young Dooku, and you get a story arc from Ahsoka, and it's great. I definitely recommend, because those are some 2 really important characters. So you got anything else?
That's it.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.